Have you ever been afraid that you're never going to make it financially? Like you're never going to be rich, or more importantly, you're never going to be able to provide that life for your loved ones like you hoped you would have? Well, I got news for you. This title of this video is super depressing, but it's about some of the new stats that have just emerged about how financially screwed that we really are. But I promise you in this video, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to share with you things that you need to know and understand. I'm also going to share with you the 3 things that you need to do if you ever want to be financially free in your life. And the good news is it doesn't have to take 30 or 40 years. It could literally be done in just a couple short years.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Did you know that 39% of all millionaires in the entire world live here in the United States? That's a crazy figure. Did you also know during the pandemic that there was an increase in millionaires globally of 10%? Right now, wealth is being created faster than ever before, and that means that the gap is widening because we've got some people that have literally been in the worst financial situation of their life. Others are doing better than they financially ever have before. And today I am going to drop that number, $1 million, and I'm going to talk to you about why you need to have at least $3 million. Now that may sound like a lot of money, but by the end of this video, I'm going to show you that it's a little easier to get than you think. But first, let's talk about why. You know, when I realized that I wanted to be rich, I didn't have a goal like I wanted to be a millionaire. In my mind, it was calculated different. It was, Kris, if you can get 20 homes, and if each one of those homes produces $500 of positive cash flow a month, then you'll have $10,000 a month of residual income. Meaning, doesn't matter how much money you do or don't make from a job, you're gonna have $10,000 show up every month, no matter what. That's originally what got me excited. Now, the truth is, I didn't quit my job nor graduate college until I had 25 homes. It took 4.5 years, but those 25 properties produced $12,000 a month. And at one point I was like, great, I got the money that I need to quit my job. I wonder how much I'm worth. You know what the number was at the time? $1.6 million. Now, today I've talked about the number $3 million. We're going to talk about why that number is really important. But just in real estate alone, over 4.5 years, I was able to accumulate enough assets to get not just $1 million or $2 million. What I was going after was the passive residual income. So before I share with you what it is you really need to do, let's just recognize the fact that rich is kind of an arbitrary term, right? I mean, what is rich? I've met someone that has $1 million and they feel literally like, I made it, I'm a millionaire. And I'm like, yeah, what's your residual income? I've got none. It doesn't produce anything for me because it's sitting in a 401k or IRA or equity in a primary residence. I paid my home off. I met another dude who literally has $1 million, a pilot, and he is terrified because he realizes that he doesn't have the money that he needs in retirement to support the lifestyle that he really wants because he had really rich taste. And so he was just scared that he was going to lose his lifestyle in retirement. Let me give you a different concept of what rich really means though. It's this question, how much do you really need to be rich? According to a study from investment bank UBS, only 28% of investors who have between $1 and $5 million in investable assets viewed themselves as rich. 40% of those with $5 million in investable assets said that they didn't feel that they were rich at all. In other words, it's amazing how someone with $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million is like, I made it, and someone else that has $5 million or more is like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm not rich. And so I think that you have to define it. I don't think it's a pile of money. I don't think it's, hey, I accumulated a certain amount of money. Do you know what I think it really is at the end of the day? I think it's what is the residual income or the cash flow that is passive that comes off of my assets. There are some people that if you put your money in a 401k and an IRA and you follow society's advice and pay off your house, that's not going to give you any residual income at all. But there are other people that don't literally have millions of dollars set aside like me when I had 25 homes, but those 25 homes produced $12,000 of residual income, and it meant that I could quit my job, start traveling around the world, and that next year I doubled it again, the year after I doubled it again, and for me, that was 100% what rich felt like. It's because I could meet one of the most important goals in my life. My parents were my motivation to build wealth, as in I knew that my mom and dad didn't have any money, and even though I have 8 other brothers and sisters, like I'm number 4 in the pecking order, I made the decision when I was 8 years old. It felt like a God thing for me. I felt inspired. I made the decision right then and there that I was going to make financial choices so that later in life I could care for my parents. And 12 years ago, my parents went bankrupt. At the end of their life, right before retirement, they had a failed business, and they were in the process of losing everything. And I had already positioned myself in a way where I could say, hey, let me provide house for you, vehicle, travel, vacation. Let me take care of you. Let me take care of everything that you need. That was 12 years ago, and I have to tell you that it's been one of the most meaningful things that I've ever done with money. And I got to tell you, I've done some pretty cool things with money, but taking care of my parents has been one of the most important things that I've ever done. What makes being rich real for you? There's an amount of money that you're going to need to make that dream a reality, and that's why I'm making this video today, and that's why in a moment I'm going to share with you the 3 things that you need to do if you want to be rich enough to see that dream come true. So before we actually talk about how much money you really do need to live that dream life that you want, I think it's more important to just pause and say, do I really understand, and do you really understand all of the obligations that come with later life? Like not when you're in your 20s or 30s, but when you're in your 50s or your 60s. From the same study, it shared something that kind of blew my mind. It said, compounded on top of increased expenses of those who have adult children, 80% of respondents said that they are providing financial support for adult children, grandchildren, or aging parents. Unemployment, the economy, and aging parents cause concern about their financial situation. In other words, it's not just like what you need, it's like, wait a second, have you considered the other people that you're gonna have stewardship over as you age, as you get older? Have you considered the other responsibilities that you're gonna have financially? When you start adding up all those obligations, that's why most of us are never really going to make it unless you have a very specific plan of action. And so this video is a little bit of a reality check because I'm going to now share the information that you need if you really want to get where you want to go.
I'm ready to go. Where we're going. Let's go.
Most people are not aware of what happens when you actually move into retirement. So let me kind of burst the bubble and tell you what it looks like. It means that you're going to take your 401ks, your savings, your IRAs, maybe even the equity in your home, and you're going to go to a financial planner and say, all right, this is what I did for the last 40 years. Now help me retire. And you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, give me all that money, I'll manage it, and we're going to put it in an annuity earning you at least 3%. Now, by the way, if you wanted to retire on even just $100,000 a year, a basic 6-figure income at retirement for the rest of your life, did you know based on a 3% annuity that you're going to need somewhere around $3 million? And considering that the average American will never earn more than $2 million in their entire working life, how are you supposed to get $3 million set aside? Well, you're going to do it by the way that the rich do. There's 3 things that you're going to invest in, and I want you to pay attention right now. Number 1, you're going to invest in real estate, because 90% of the world's wealthy made it in real estate, or that's where they hold their wealth. Number 2 is you're going to invest in other upcoming successful companies. You can do that through the stock market. Now, I don't mean the S&P 500, I don't mean index funds. I mean finding the companies that are the next Netflix, finding the companies that are the next Tesla. And there's a huge amount of wealth, huge ROI that you can gain on that. And the third thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna own your own companies. Now, I didn't say operate your own companies, I said own your own companies. This is what the wealthy do. They do those 3 things. They own real estate, they own their own businesses, and they own pieces of other really successful businesses. And right now, if you're watching this video and you're starting to think, okay, Kris, like, how do I take action on that? Let me show you right now. Listen, what I've just shared with you in this video, those 3 investments, those are 3 of the 5 places where I put my money, where I've gotten my greatest gains. Like the stock market 30-year average is producing less than 10% a year. My average real estate produces 25 to 50%. My average business holdings can produce anywhere from 100% to 10,000%. And with those ROIs, not only are you going to be rich, but you can do it in a very short period of time. You just got to understand the rule book for how it happens. Now, after me being in the financial space for nearly 20 years, I've just completed my 5th book, the most important book that I've ever written, called Have It All. It's a roadmap for becoming a self-made millionaire in 5 years or less. And I want to give it to you for free. By the way, this is my first video where I'm offering this. I've never done it before. I feel so strongly that this is the book that you should have received and learned about when you were in junior high, high school, what your parents should have taught you, certainly your college professors. But guess what? The world's job is not to make you rich. You've got to find that adventure yourself, and that's why you're subscribed on my channel, right? Because I'm here to give you that information. For the first time ever, in the link below, I'm going to give you a free copy of Have It All. It is the most powerful book I've ever written, and I'm going to tell you right now, no one has written a book like this. This is not redundant information. This is groundbreaking information on how all the wealthy get rich and the simple basic steps that you take, even if you're starting from nothing, so that you can do it as well. Click below. I don't know how many copies are going to be available, but as long as that goes through, it's yours. All I ask is that you cover the shipping and handling. Outside of that, get the book, change your life. Oh, that's really, really good. That's called a mango colada. Check it out, my friend. Just enjoying the sunset here and a fine drink. And I'm thinking about you. One of the top questions that I've been getting from people is, hey, Kris, what you did in real estate, how you made your wealth, does that still work today? Probably not in this economy, right? What if I told you that 5 homes could make you literally twice as much money as when I started building my portfolio? Check out this video right here, and I'll drink to your success.